this is my old Cannondale Caffeine XL. It was my mountain bike back in, well, 2006 or something. It still has one of these ancient hedgehog forks up in front. And wouldn't you know it, I actually let that rebuilt by a company called 88. I think they're based in Germany. And basically they did a whole rebuild on that fork because after almost 2 decades that thing was gone. Well, this thing is old and now my son is riding it because he is rather tall for 14 and he already fits on a size XL. And that's why I want to upgrade this a little bit, or at least change it from this old school 3x9 drivetrain. It's a Shimano Diore XT back from, as I said, 2006 of course. And that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to try to make this a little bit more modern. And this is what I plan on putting on it. We got a new handlebar to fit more in line with modern riding standards. We got some new flat pedals. I plan to put a new crank in it. Maybe I keep the old cranks because I noticed that this chainring would even fit. And then we have some fresh tires and a new rear mech and shifter and cassette, which is more of the cheaper line. It's from Shimano Q's, but I have some good experience with this on the bike of my younger son. So here's to hoping this will work out. One of the first things I want to change is the handlebars. Those are quite narrow compared to modern mountain bikes. Just look at the replacement I got. I got this for quite a good price at a wholesale from I think they called Bikester or something. And my camera autofocus is not really working, so you're gonna see that later. One thing that I also wanted to do was to replace that stem here, because I think it's too long, especially for my son. I think he would need something in this length. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find any Cannondale Hedgehog Ultra compatible stems online that were still produced. So yeah, bit out of luck there. If you know any place where I could get that with like, I don't know, 5 centimeters length or something, then please drop a comment and let me know. I'm desperate to know. Okay, let's start with the front wheel. Let's get rid of those. And there goes the cap. By the way, this is not a tutorial. I'm just a bloke with a bike, screwing on it. Screwing around with it? I don't know, English is not my first language. Point out my bad grammar in the comments, why don't you? And there we go. Everything dangling around. There we go. Old handlebar gone. Now to really drive the comparison home. That's going to be a huge difference. Okay, so much for that. We're not going to mount the brakes just yet because we need to do all the other stuff first. Next up, I'm going to start to get rid of the old drivetrain. And the first thing I'm going to do is to break the chain. So there we go. If you're wondering why I'm lifting my glasses so often, reason being is I'm starting to get nearsighted. This is a really cheap tool I found on Amazon, but it has worked so far. That looks perfectly broken. Yep, one broken chain. And now we can at least get rid of one of the shifters. We're getting rid of the rear mech now. And there it is. Yep. One Shimano Diore XT gone. Next up is of course the cabling for the front derailleur. and the front shifter is gone now. Okay, next order of business is to get rid of the entire front derailleur assembly. Open this screw, and then theoretically, yes, I can just unclamp that. All right, and the next thing is, of course, the cranks. Can we already loosen this? Yes, we can. And there we go. Just pull it out, easy like that. Oh, that's already really scratched up. Wow, lots of shifts over those 20 years. So we're gonna place those in there. But first I want to clean this up a little bit because I think it hasn't been really cleaned for ages. All right, before we go on with the frame, I want to do the cranks and the wheels. Okay, let's get this chain ring on those cranks. I'm going to line up the fun with 2N with the other writing on here. First screw is always the hardest. I don't know why that is, but that's just the way it is. Is there any indicator how many Newton meters I should use or something? Nope. Let's go with 8. Okay, next up, pedals. Okay, this is going to be the right side, so I need the right side pedal. And this is the right side pedal. Why is that important? Because they have different types of threads. Yep, this looks good. Red pedals because the bike also has some red in it. Not that the red matches, but it's going to be fine. All right. One crank and pedal done. And they're even street legal because they have reflectors over there. Left pedal, so I have a lefty thread over here. So I have to screw in going left-hand side. Otherwise, it won't work. Yeah. So that's the thing you need to be aware of when you try to work on bikes, because because when you do that, some of the threads go in one direction and some of the threads go in another direction. So here we have the cranks and pedals. Gonna save those for later. And now we're going to continue with the wheels, and I'm going to start with the front wheel. I'm going from the original tire that this bike came with, a 20-year-old tire. And if you look at the tire wall, not sure if you can see that, but it's already kind of flaky. Wow, that's really not good. That's dusty. Okay, one tire coming out. That was easy. Now for the new one. And yeah, that valve is a lot longer than the older one. Not sure if that's a good thing though. Okay, and here we also have our new tire. It's a Maxxis Ardent. Not sure if it's a good tire. I got it on sale. Instead of 50 euro, I spent 9 euro on this. So, I don't know. Sounded like a bargain to me. Okay, which direction does this wheel spin? This is the spinning direction. Is there no indication on the rotor? Usually, yeah, there we have it. There is an indicator of the rotation. So it spins like this. And we should have an indicator on this tire somewhere. There we have it. And the arrows match up. Great. Well, the tire is on there. Beautiful. All right, before I get working on the tire, I want to get that cassette off. There we go. Best doing this standing up and using gravity. There we go. Now we can just twist this off. There we go. And then we can remove that cassette. But let's give this a thorough cleaning. Let's pull this one out. This one offers a bit more resistance than the other one, but nothing we can't handle. There we go. All right, now that we got the tire sorted out, it's time to get the cassette on. Time for the cassette. Yeah, that went well. Okay, well, there is sort of keying here. There is one smaller element. There it is. Smallest one. And then we can line things up. And where it is? Where is it? There it is. This one looks nice. And then the next one. Final gear. Okay. And then lock it. Link glide only. Yes, Mr. Shimano. I will not try to disappoint you. It says 14 Newton meters. I'm not sure how many those are. But I doubt that I will be able to break this. Woohoo! Nice. I'm going to start adding the cranks. Oh yeah, we need some grease here as well. And that was smooth as butter. Okay, time for the other side. Let's not mess this up and put it in the wrong direction. Yeah, looking good. So before we move on to the rear mag, I want to put in the wheels, because I want to check if that derailleur hanger is still aligned or if it needs a realignment. Okay, what I'm going to do now is get my derailleur hanger tool. Oh wow, it needs a bit of love. Looking okay now. And now as for the 9 o'clock position, that's okay, I guess. We're barely touching it. And let's see what's going on down here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, some minor horizontal adjustment was needed, but we're fine otherwise. Okay, before I mount the rear derailleur, let's get on with the chain. And what I'm doing here is I'm following Shimano's manual. I'd put it up on the screen so you can see what I'm referring to. Basically what they say is you need to have your chain around your largest sprocket, or largest cog on the cassette, and on the largest chain ring here in front. Since we only have one chain ring, that's easy. We need to have 4 chain links plus the thing as slack. Now that we have set up the chain, we can add the rear derailleur. Okay, why don't you go in there? And now the threads of tightening. Let's move it around over here. And then around here. But now I think we can lock this. Okay. Let's get this one in here. The other one in there. Let's try to mate them. Why won't you work? Ah, there we go. Next up, I'm going to mount the shifter already. What I'm going to do first is screw it in all the way and then a couple of turns outward. Not sure if that's really the best way to go about it. Just worked for me so far. And that's how I basically do everything. If something has worked in the past, I'm going to do it again like that in the future. Right, now we need to do something about this here. And this should work. Hey, we don't even have to cut it. What you're not going to see, because I won't be bothered to move the camera, is that I put a little bit of grease onto the shifter cable. Right, time to cable this up. All right, everything is installed and I think set up correctly. Let's have a look. It's a bit sluggish on the way down to the smaller cogs, but other than that, we did it. I did it. You didn't do anything. You just watched. But I hope you enjoyed it. All right, that's it for today. That's the video. This is the bike. Now my son is going out and ride it. See you in the next video, I guess. Bye now.